Welcome to Munich, Germany, the start of today's trip, and I've actually just arrived here on a long-haul flight from the United States, meaning I have a pretty tight connection this morning to make my Lufthansa flight to Birmingham. So let's head through the airport as quickly as I possibly can, and I'll share with you my experience on board. Welcome to Blake Edgington Airborne. Let's get going.
Lufthansa and their Star Alliance partners used Terminal 2 in Munich. This meant that after arriving from the US on board United, my flight would be departing from the same terminal, which was a big help with my connection. Thankfully, I also didn't need to make my way across to the Terminal 2 satellite, meaning that while time was still a little tight, I did have a few minutes to take a look around on my way to the gate. As you'd expect from a major European airport, there is a range of shops and restaurants available in the departures area to enjoy, and if you have time between your flights you can even make use of a sleeping cabin. I had a quick look, but I can't say it's something I'd use personally. It is a clever idea though. Besides, why would I want to sleep when the views outside are so interesting?
So that is a very quick trip through Munich Airport. As I said earlier on, I've got a bit of a tight connection this morning, so I've literally just made my way as fast as I possibly could to the gate. But as with my last visit here, it's a really impressive terminal. Anyway, it's that time. Let's get on board an aircraft and head to Birmingham.
Now, I'm not going to get into the debate over whether or not Lufthansa deserves a 5-star rating in this video. What I will say though is that in my experience, Lufthansa offer a very consistent product which was very welcome after my overnight long-haul flight, and it was nice to end a busy few days in North America with the German national airline. Lufthansa have an impressive fleet, and on European routes the Airbus A320 is the most common aircraft type, and in a moment I'll show you the onboard experience. Before that though, let's look at the cost of flying between Munich and Birmingham. A quick search online offered flights one way for just under €100 depending on time of date of travel, and this is based on a light fare which does not include seat reservation or checked luggage. Anyway, back to my flight, and it wasn't a very busy one with plenty of empty seats on this morning departure, but when full the A320 can accommodate up to 168 passengers. The cabin didn't have any of the LED mood lights that I've experienced on some of my recent flights, but it did feel clean and modern and had features such as individual reading lights and personal air vents above each seat. Given the light load on this flight, storage was no issue with plenty of room in the overhead lockers for cabin baggage. Economy class passengers have use of 2 toilets at the rear of the aircraft, which feature baby changing tables and something which I haven't seen very often: toilet seat covers, which, if you're as much of a clean freak as I am, is a big plus. Well done, Lufthansa. A A benefit of flying economy class with Lufthansa is that even on short flights within Europe, snacks and drinks are complimentary. My body clock was kind of all over the place at this point, so despite it technically being breakfast time, I did enjoy the famous Lufthansa half sandwich, and I always appreciate the little things on a flight, such as the branding on the cup and napkin.
Making good progress on our way to Birmingham today. Before we get too far into the flight, let's take a look at the seat that you can expect to find if you travel with Lufthansa on the A320.
Economy class on the A320 makes up the majority of the seats on board, and don't tell anyone, but if like me you have an empty seat next to you, then it's just like being in a business seat at the front. So what does the seat have to offer then? Well, at the top of the seat is your storage area for Lufthansa in-flight literature, and here's where you'll find the A320 safety card, and just behind that is your magazine, which we'll take a look at very soon. When you lower the tray table, it's clear to see that literature pocket is not really the place to keep any of your valuable items, as it's not fully enclosed. Looking at the table itself now, and you're provided with some adjustment if needed. And Lufthansa are very generous, offering not one but 2 spaces to keep drinks in place, so there's no excuse for not keeping hydrated in flight. There's also a netted storage area at the bottom of the seat with room for anything you might want close to hand. And most importantly, I found that the legroom was quite generous, and I had absolutely no issue getting comfortable on this flight. But that's just my opinion, and I'm always keen to hear from my viewers, so please let me know in the comments what you think of Lufthansa's A320 seat. And once you've left a comment and hopefully subscribed to this channel, you might want to check out my Facebook, Instagram or Twitter accounts. Here's where I'll share updates on upcoming videos, as well as images and news from my flights as they happen, such as my upcoming trip to the Middle East, which will include flights with KLM on the 787, as well as Gulf Air, Kuwait Airways and even Cathay Pacific. Lufthansa don't offer in-flight entertainment on European routes, so unless you've brought your own, the only option is to take a look at the in-flight magazine, which for me is no bad thing as it features details of the airline's fleet, including the 747-400, which I've flown before and I'll leave a link to in the description. You can also use the magazine to plan your next trip, and with more than 200 destinations to choose from, you're kind of spoilt for choice when flying with Lufthansa.
It's been a pretty quick flight today. We're now making our approach into Birmingham, and as always make sure you stick around till the end of the video where I'll share with you my final thoughts on today's flight. So that's it, welcome to Birmingham after that quick trip with Lufthansa from Munich today. And this of course is where I'll normally share with you the pros and cons of today's trip. But to be honest with you, it's a pretty short one because there was absolutely nothing wrong with this flight today. Lufthansa are one of those airlines that I've flown with a number of times, and every time I have, you get exactly what you expect. Everything is done well, with a smile generally, and with precision. This flight started off in Munich after I connected from a long-haul flight from the USA, and connection in Munich is a dream. There was absolutely no problem there at all, straight through to my next flight without missing a step. And then the flight itself, or the cabin crew, they were probably some of the best Lufthansa crew I've interacted with for a long time. Really engaging with the passengers, really friendly as well. Of course, part of the service on Lufthansa flights in Europe is a complimentary snack. I got the half sandwich today and it was absolutely lovely, really tasty. And of course, it's really nice to have an empty row for myself, but regardless of that, the legroom is always very good, and most of all, we arrived on time. So I genuinely have nothing bad to say about today's trip, which is rare for me, but try as I might, it was just a really good flight. But do let me know in the comment section if you've flown with the German airline before. Let me know your experiences, and if you've enjoyed this video today, please do hit that thumbs up button, give it a like. Most of all though, please do subscribe, because without your support, this channel simply can't continue to grow. As always, take care